long story short, then what led to Shake Shack is that we were just talking about places like to try, food to try.
Yeah.
She actually would make a list of it.
Oh, I still do.
As we started connecting deeper and deeper, she said she's never been to Shake Shack. So that's when I was like, you know what? Let me just make my play here. I said we should go one day, and then I'll take you so we could try it. And she's like, okay, sounds good. So the day comes, and then we're planning to go. I didn't have a car, so I had to ask my mom for her car. That went smooth. She said okay. And then man, I thought she was ducking me because she kept saying, oh, like, can we push the time, this and that. Like, oh wait, I gotta do homework, this and that. But long story short, she actually was shopping with her dad, so that's why they got back like what, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. and I had to do homework really quick before I went out. So it was kind of like a late night.
Prioritizes that homework. Gotta give her her props.
No, so it was kind of a late night. So whatever, I get back. I text him like, oh, you can come now, whatever like that. And I was so like, I was never like nervous or like shy around him, but like for some reason, knowing that he was gonna pick me up and like we were gonna go like on a date, like it kind of made me nervous because like I don't really do that. Like I don't really ever go hang out with people. So I was just getting a little like nervous, little butterflies. I was like, oh my god, text my friends, oh my god, I'm about to go. So then he picked me up, I get in the car, and that was it. Like we started talking.
Pretty much was just
really
catching
good.
up.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like awkward.
No.
It was just we were catching up on life.
Literally catching up.
We haven't spoken how many years?
So long. And then so we drove to Shake Shack. We get out, of course it was pouring. So we go into Shake Shack, we order whatever, we sit down.
Mind you, first day I did not pay for her. You know why? Because she runs to the cashier and orders her meal. As I'm trying to order, like I'm trying to look at the menu, because the way it is, the menus are on the wall, on the left, and the people are to the right, you know? Yeah. If I'm facing them. So she runs, orders it, and pays for it. I'm like, come on, like.
Well, okay.
I'm like, I'm the one who invited you on a date. As a man, you should be paying for the first date.
I agree,
and she didn't allow
I
that.
get that, but like I don't really go on dates much. I honestly have never been on a date like that. So to go somewhere and then like with somebody and you don't know if they're, because maybe you just were gonna ask me and you weren't gonna pay, and I look like a moron standing there like, oh, so he's not paying for me. Like I don't want to look like an idiot, so I just didn't want to even think that he was gonna pay for me, and I just did it myself. And even though he was like, oh no, I'll pay, I was like, no, it's okay. Yeah. So I just didn't want him to think like I was expecting him to pay.
And that's why I respect her so much more, because she was like that and she did not want to like expect. Yeah. That's why I love it.
So then, yeah, I agree. But so then after that, we sat down, we ate, we were just talking. And then after we got back in the car, and then we didn't want to like go back home. And at this point it was getting late and like we had school the next day. So we were like, what could we do? So we just drove around this like area that by us, and we were just driving around, just literally talking, like just talking about our lives, talking about our families, like just everything, because we haven't talked in so long, mind you. And like when we talked in middle school, we would uwu like all day, every day. It was just funny. And I knew like I never knew her dad. I knew her mom because she would pick her up all the time. And I knew her brother. I always knew her brother because like we would play like video games, and she would have to use his console. So that's how I knew. But I'm talking about back then, like back in the Black Ops 2 days. Me and her would play that. That's actually fun. And another thing is, before the date, me and him would always play on Fortnite, because like I didn't have his phone number, so we only would talk off of Snapchat, and I didn't want to talk on Snap, so I would hop onto my brother's game, and I was like, oh, like you want to get on, just so I can like talk to him and everything. So I would just do it to talk to him, and then eventually he finally asked for like my phone number.
This is when I couldn't tell if she genuinely wanted to play video games or she wanted to talk, because she would leave me on open. Yeah. So like, guys, tell me what vibe would you get? She's leaving you on open and then she wants to play Fortnite. I mean, so you tell me. What did you just think that she wants to game?
If you look back at the messages, like if you really scroll up, if you look back on it, I just saw the conversation was kind of done. So that's when I would leave it on read, because I was like, okay, I don't really know what else to say. So that's just from my perspective. When you think a conversation is kind of finished, then you're just kind of like, I won't answer. But like that's what you think, and that's what I thought. So yeah, so back to like when we were on the date. So yeah, we just drove around, we were really talking, and then eventually I was like, obviously it was getting probably like late, so he dropped me off at home, and then he went home. And I remember when I walked in, I was like texting my chat, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm so happy. Like I loved the date. Like I thought it was so much fun, because you know what it was, like we were comfortable. Like it wasn't even like a date, it was more of like we were just like so comfortable with each other, and like we were just talking that it was just so fun to me. And so I was just like basically in my head, I'm like, okay, like I want to do this again. So then I remember when we were at school, I think one day he didn't have a ride to go home or whatever, so he was waiting for his friend.
I didn't have a car back then.
Yeah. So then I was
after I crashed my car.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't have a car.
So I was leaving from school. I remember my class was done and we were Snapchatting and he's like saying that and everything. And I was like, oh, so like I'll just drive you home, you know, like where do you live or whatever. And he was not far from me. He was like 10 minutes. So I was like, oh, I'll like just come in. But he was so persistent that he did not want to get a ride from me and everything like that. I'm like, can you just shush and just like come with me? Like you're fine.
I didn't want to be a hassle. You guys know how to.
Yeah, but I was like, you live 10 minutes from me. Like you live so close. Like it's fine. And then so he finally decided to agree and I went and got him and we started driving home and it was just funny because like we were talking again, you know, just
no awkward silence.
No awkward silence. And I remember I dropped him off at home and I had to go pick my brother up from school or whatever, and he said he wanted to, right? You wanted to ask me to.
Yeah, I was gonna ask her to like come in and like hang out, but she kept saying that she had to pick up her brother, so I didn't want to like basically intrude on her having to pick him up because it was like 10 minutes before she had to pick him up.
But I was like, you could have asked, like I could have just went picked him up quickly and came back, or like I could have just, you know, seen if he could have gotten a ride or something. But he didn't say anything to me, so like I didn't know that until just like a year later. But yeah, so then after that, we got our numbers, whatever like that, and we just started like FaceTiming, talking. We would actually watch like, so like there was shows that I would watch and I told him to start watching this. We would be on FaceTime and we would watch the shows and just talk like that. Yep. We would FaceTime literally till 2, 3 in the morning. And then it just got more serious from there. We started hanging out at each other's houses.
Yeah.
Well, I was hanging out at his a lot. And then eventually then he started hanging out at mine, but I didn't want him to meet my family and he didn't want me to meet his family until we knew it was like, you know, serious, like until we knew it was going to be something. So like basically like 3 months after we started talking, on my birthday is when he met my like my dad and my sister. Like he met my brother obviously way before that, but
well, I've always played with him on like Xbox, so me and him pretty much knew each other, just like not in person, like yo, what's up? Like,
yeah.
But she met my family on accident. Like I always have her come when everybody was like going to bed and stuff. And then one day, everybody just came out their rooms as she walked through the door. Yeah. So it just happened. Yeah, and
after that, I mean, we just hung out so much, but it just got more serious. And now 3 years, almost 3 years later, because right in May it would be 3 years, we don't even have a date. So if you guys are curious, like we don't even have a date because we just started dating and like there's no specific
like,
time.
Oh, you want to go out? It was just like we kind of knew, and then I did it just to make it official, like asked her, but it was just more of like a we just knew. Basically, when May hits, that'll be 3 years for us, and I can't believe how long it's been because it feels like a long time. Honestly, I feel like I've known you forever. But I just think it's so wild how life works that me and him talked in middle school. Years go past. I never thought I would ever see him or talk to him ever again. I thought after high school, like, all right, bye, like, not seeing you. And it's just wild to see, like, wow, where does life take you? Like, now we're together for 3 years. Definitely crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that's just our little story time of how we met. And hope you guys enjoyed story time today. Yeah. Now, it was funny because the other night we wanted to go to Shake Shack to get a milkshake. And I was like, wow, we haven't been here in like 3 years. And of course that didn't go well. So maybe we could do a video of us going back to where our first date was. Yeah. That would be fun. Back to our first date. Yeah, and like redo like everything that we did. Yeah.